10 years of our lives, and it actually works. With this time relay, we can travel back to any point in time and then return to the present.
Are the batteries charged?
Sorry?
I'll bring some spares. I don't want to go back to see the Battle of Hastings and get stuck there.
The batteries are fine.
Well, I couldn't stand their toilets, for one thing. They just went in a hole, you know. I can't even go at a urinal. It's not that I'm shy or anything. Oh no, I'm perfectly comfortable with my chap. I just prefer a cubicle. I hate the thought of someone having a peek.
Gentlemen, aren't we missing the point? Time travel. This is an awesome responsibility. So, where shall we travel first?
I'd like to meet Newton and just shake his hand.
Boring. Come on, this is our one chance to make a real difference to history, and you just want to meet a famous scientist?
I'd quite like to meet Newton and shake his hand as well, actually.
We are not going to use the world's first time machine to do science tourism.
I know. Let's travel back in time and kill Hitler. No Hitler, no World War II. Millions of lives saved. I can see the logic of such a course of action.
Yeah, it's just, well, it's such a cliché, going back in time to kill Hitler.
So you don't want to use the machine to stop the greatest catastrophe in human history because of a cliché?
Just an idea. Why don't we go back in time and not kill Hitler?
You mean just meet him?
Yeah.
Meet him and do what exactly?
Just have a chat, get to know him, tell him not to invade Russia, that kind of thing.
You want to go back and help Hitler?
It's just a thought. I mean, no one ever suggested doing that with a time machine before. It's not a cliché, it's safe, and it fits our brief.
For obvious reasons, it's a ghastly idea. He might actually win the war.
Yes, I suppose he might.
Hold on a moment. Are you some kind of Nazi? I thought all the reenactment stuff you did on the weekend was harmless cosplay.
Look, he was an animal lover. He loved culture. He was trying to help the German people, who are a very kind and noble and punctual race. Also, he invested heavily in science.
Yes, eugenics.
We are not going back in time to kill Hitler.
We could.
Or talk to him, or look at him, or help him in any way. In fact, let's stop talking about Hitler.
We could kill someone else.
Danny Dyer. We could kill Danny Dyer.
You do know he's still alive.
We could go back to the start of his career, before he makes any films, and shoot him in his smug little face.
I'm not sure I like this shift away from exploration of time for the good of humanity to murdering people. My vote still goes with meeting Newton.
I'd like to make a suggestion.
We've had quite enough of your suggestions.
Yeah, well, that's the point. I rather regret my earlier comments about Hitler, so I was wondering if we could perhaps pop back in time 5 minutes and pretend the whole thing never happened.
That's an excellent idea. Today has all got rather strange. Plus, in the excitement, my tea has gone cold.
I suppose so. Then we can actually figure out where to travel next without going all neo-Nazi.
Yes.
Agreed.
What's wrong with the remote?
I forgot to charge the batteries.
And that, students, is why time travel was not developed until the 23rd century.
Because people were Nazis?
No, Shalamar, it's because of the patriarchy. Isn't that right, Professor Zim?
Laynard, that's not strictly correct. It was because they couldn't decide how to test the time machine once they built it. Although it is true the scientists were all men.
Professor, why do you keep showing us how stupid people were in the past? We already know we're smarter nowadays.
Shalamar, I've explained this many times. We use the time telescope to peer into the past to learn lessons.
Yes, we learn from them, even though we're so much smarter now and everything is much better in the New Republic.
Plus your parents are paying me e-credits to make sure that you pass your history exams. Now, history is not all about men. Let's take a peek at a powerful woman whose strong and stable leadership brought peace to Britain.
Iceni, you are people that Rome ignores, but it's time to take back control. Iceni laws for the Iceni. Let's take back our freedom from the Roman Empire.
Boudicca, you...
It's pronounced Boudicca.
But it's spelled...
Antidocus, it's my name. A proud Iceni name, and I say it's pronounced Boudicca.
Whatever. Look, Boudicca, you make a fine speech, but the tribe's not united. Many of us are content to remain under Roman rule.
Traitor!
Actually, he's got a point.
Antidocus, the Roman establishment killed my husband, violated my daughters, and had me flogged.
OK, that was over the top.
I am a strong, fierce woman. Hear me roar.
I'm all right, thanks.
Boudicca, Queen of the Iceni.
It's pronounced Boudicca.
Is it?
It's not how it's written.
Look, how many more times? I'm Queen of the Iceni, and that's how I want my name pronounced.
Okay, Boudicca. I am the chief druid of the tribe, and I have spoken with the forest spirits, and they have given me a vision of the future.
And does our rebellion mean we will be free of Roman regulation? Take back control of our borders?
As a druid, I must stress that the forest spirits are a rather unreliable bunch.
I have had a special chariot made just for the rebellion, with swords on the wheels.
Well done, you.
Bring forth my chariot.
Why does it say more money for witch doctors on the side?
Because after the rebellion, we won't have to pay Roman taxes. We can spend more on witch doctors.
Witch doctors? The only thing they ever suggest is licking toads.
Nothing wrong with licking a nice fat toad.
I just think that political decisions should be made about the things that really matter, like food supply, trade and infrastructure.
Let's put it to a vote, Antidocus.
No, that is a stupid idea. Look at them, they're idiots.
No, we're not.
I'm an idiot, he's right.
Iceni, shall we stay in the Roman Empire of Europe or take back control?
Death to the big noses.
There you go. Overwhelming majority. Rebellion it is.
Sounded more like 50-50 to me.
Stop talking the Iceni down. Now let us prepare for war.
Professor, why can't we just travel back in time and prevent the reckoning?
Now, Shalamar, as you know, time travel is strictly prohibited. We are only allowed to peer into the past and view what took place, not actually interfere.
But if someone did go back in time, they could stop the reckoning and save 99.99999999999% of humanity.
But if we did travel back in time, the chronostreams would shift, the future would change, and we would, well, cease to exist.
And that, Professor, means our glorious new republic would not exist, which would be a real bummer.
Yes, it would, Lanyard. Good point. A real bummer. Also, we don't know that all the billions of people who survived would be good people.
They might be racists.
Living racists.
That's even worse. I think everything is much better now all the potential racists are gone.
Yes, it is. Let us continue with the lesson.
Gentlemen, thank you for joining. Did you want to say something, John Bright? You look troubled.
Mr. Gladstone, we are ignoring a huge number of potential voters who have the right to have their say in how this country is run. I can't really believe you can call yourself a progressive and yet not allow those we care for, those we love, to have the vote.
Are you on about dogs again?
You say dogs, I say four-legged furry franchise.
Mr. Bright, we have covered this. I'm a big lover of dogs, and some of my best friends are canine. However, we need to accept the master is head of the household, and as thus, he can vote on the dog's behalf.
A dog deserves to have his voice heard.
His bark heard.
Well, yes, his bark heard.
I'm sorry, but they are savage beasts who will vote on their base instincts. Do we really want them to vote in things like the right to sleep in the house, mandatory daily stick chasing, meat content regulation for our sausages,
Leave our sausages alone.
to have walkies breaks afforded legal protection?
Oh, they would vote in a dog prime minister.
Can you imagine it? A big slobbering bulldog puffing on a cigar.
The right to have sex, human style.
Okay.
But dogs have feelings. You cannot just keep oppressing them. The next thing you know, we'll have dog activists out on the streets demanding change.
It is a slippery slope. If we give dogs the vote, where do we draw the line?
Votes for budgies? Oh, we want free birdseed without working.
Rabbits? They'd soon outnumber and outvote us humans. You know they breed like, well, rabbits.
It really would be the end of the human race, and is something that we can never let happen.
So it's decided, no votes for doggies. Anyway, what do you chaps think about giving women the vote?
Oh, no.
No way.
3 noes? OK, gentlemen, if that's everything, I need to go and save some prostitutes.
What did we learn from that, students?
I didn't realise how unenlightened people were. It's much better now that dogs have the vote.
Yes, it is. And when the new republic decides in its wisdom to hold elections, then every man, woman and dog will take part.
Professor, you said man and woman.
Oh, apologies, Lanyard. I must have picked up bad habits with all this peering into the past with the time scope. Of course, I meant to say every otherkin will get to vote.
When exactly will that be, Professor? It's been 100 years.
Well, Shalamar, if there's one thing history teaches us, it's that you can't rush these things.
Ah, Private Baker. The lads tell me you're a bit of a poet as well.
I can't pretend to be at your level, Lieutenant Owen. Dulce et decorum est. Absolute blinder, sir.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you to say so, Private Baker. But I wonder if I could hear one of your compositions. The whole trench has been singing your praises.
I don't know, sir.
Oh, go on, George, you're really good.
Please humour me. We have to storm the German positions tomorrow, and the least we can do is cultivate our minds before the inevitable slaughter.
It's a bit different to your style.
Don't be shy.
Shells falling. Is my end calling? Daisy, the girl at the dance I never spoke to. Crash. Another mate gone in a flash of metal. Machine guns rattle. I never chose this battle. To see your sweet body one time. Working class. Just meet for your splintered brass. All I can think about is that night. Why didn't I have the guts? Guts. I see them now. Spilling on the ground.
Well, it's nice that you had a go.
You didn't like it?
But I believe that Private Baker may have discovered a new form of poetry that speaks directly to the common man.
And my poems don't?
Yes, sir, they do. Shut up, Elf. You're not helping.
But your stuff is real. It's not posh boy wordplay.
And you prefer Private Baker's approach to mine?
Yeah, sorry, your stuff's a bit poncy. Baker's a bit of a hero to us.
Oh, well, thank you, Private Smith, for your honesty. And, Private Baker, I think I was a little hasty in my judgment of your composition. It's rather good on reflection, so I would like to reward you, if I could.
Oh, thank you very much, sir.
By nominating you to lead the assault on the German pillbox at the top of the hill tomorrow morning.
The one the lads call the Tommy Killer?
You can thank me later. Good luck with the poetry, or whatever you call it.
As we can see, war is wrong.
Yes, Professor Zim, and poetry is wrong.
Not all poetry, only bad poetry.
You mean poetry that's prohibited by the Ministry for Public Safety?
Yes, Shalamar. The clue is in the name. They are looking after our best interests. The Ministry only prohibits poems that do not reach the high standards to be considered masterpieces. You wouldn't want to read bad poems, would you?
I suppose not.
Exactly. That concludes today's Peer into the Past.